I've been an artist for over 40 years. It's been my main form of income over that period of time. I was classically trained as an illustrator. So from now on I've decided to produce tutorials of my work. One of the main reasons for this is I have a degenerative condition in my hands, so I may only have 3 to 5 years left painting. And I think it would be nice to kind of pass everything on to everybody, those who are interested, so that you can see all the tricks and little things that I've learned over the years. So I took a look at a lot of online tutorials and also videos. What I saw from most of them was they're more centered around the artist than the actual work, although they do show a lot of work, so it's really nice. It's more to the artist with what he feels and how he gets inspired and all that kind of nonsense. Well, this I thought would just do away with all that, because you don't need to know how I'm inspired. Everybody gets inspired differently. So, for example, with the first one, the painting is called Crimea River, and I decided to just jump in right in the deep end. And although it looks fairly complicated, it's actually quite straightforward and simple. So in the picture there's skin tones and people and hands, and that's like, oh, we've got to keep away from those, let's do a few bushes instead. There's actually no real difference between painting hands and faces and trees and cars. It's all the same process. And the difference with this tutorial is that you are able to take the reference that I use and print it out yourself, and you will be shown how you can produce a drawing that's accurate on the canvas, even if you've got no drawing skills whatsoever. And the rest of the video, which is 11 hours long, it's separated into a number of different parts. You can follow along and actually paint the picture that I'm painting on the video yourself. And that way you can learn and figure out things as they go along a lot easier. As I said, this is the first one, and as we progress, I want to do one every month, and each one will be a different style, or it could be a different technique, or it could be a different subject matter, such as we're going to cover glass, water, and trees, and metallic objects, buildings, and although this one has got skin tones on it, the skin tones are fairly rudimentary when you look at them and see how they're done. So we will build on top of that as we move along with the tutorials to more complicated skin tones. But this is a piece which will really show you that it's not so difficult, and it'll give you confidence. And it's the confidence which will help you progress further with your own style. We're also going to look at different mediums as well. This one is actually in oil, and oil is a great place to start because it's such a forgiving medium to work with. So we'll do the first couple with oil, and the next one is probably going to be how we approach an object which is glass, and later we'll work with acrylics. But we're also going to go into watercolors, which can be quite tricky and quite difficult, and gouache, which I love as a medium. It's what I started with, and I really enjoy using it. And I believe in going to inks. There are a couple of techniques which I use with inks, which are quite interesting, and they might be quite fun to do. So we'll do that a bit later during the tutorials. I'm also going to add some tutorials which will guide you into possibilities of selling what you produce, because that's always a big thing. How do I sell what I produce? And another possibilities and outlets and that kind of thing. And also pricing, which always seems to be a big question when you look at the forums on social media. How do I price this and how much is this worth? Well, we'll go into that later. That's all, as I said earlier. This first set of videos is 11 hours and they show 95% of the brush strokes that I used. There's some narration, not an awful lot because that can be annoying as you're trying to concentrate and do it. So you could actually draw out the painting, watch the video and paint it at the same time. There's no tight rules when it comes to painting because you're going to adapt those rules yourself. There are a few which I like to stick by and you'll hear me repeat them over and over again. But as far as painting in the studio or having this specific type of materials or tools or something like that, don't worry about that. I mean, personally myself, I like to paint on the kitchen table. And sometimes I'll paint on an easel, and if I'm doing a watercolour, I'll do it on my lap in front of the TV. So it's whatever you feel comfortable with. And the same with the materials. Yes, there's great materials and there's cheaper ones, but it's what you can afford, what you feel good with, and you just don't worry about the specifics. It's just a matter of enjoying. And if you can produce something which you're really happy with, well then the enjoyment is going to be tenfold. And that's what this is all about. It's about you. It's about you enjoying the painting and producing something which feels good to you. And I hope you enjoy it. And let's have a couple of years of fun.